Yesterday, my professors went over their work, their process, and they showed us on a projector through PowerPoints. We're in the process right now of choosing our quote unquote mentors for the year. In total, there are like 4 foundational mentors and then visiting mentors, and they have different availabilities on each day that we have our studio hours. They took this time to share with us like works that they have in progress or works that they've completed like previously. And this was pretty interesting because I know I'm supposed to Google my professors, and typically like I do, but sometimes I'm so caught up with me and my interests that I just like don't. Even though these people are literally teaching us every single day and like guiding us through different types of spaces. So this was a really great opportunity for us to just like learn about what their work actually looks like. Something, however, for me that I asked today in class that I really wanted to know was, even though I see what a professor's work looks like, and even though I've worked with certain professors, I really wanted to know as a mentor, what would they actually be offering me as a student so that I could make perhaps like a better decision. And so one of the professors mentioned that even though we choose one mentor, obviously we have access to everyone in the space. I think in total there's about 4, maybe like 9, I believe it's like 8 to 9 faculty staff members that are acting as mentors for our senior academic year. Even though I know I get to interact with all of them and I kind of mandatorily have to interact with all of them, the idea of like having to choose quote unquote like one or making a list of top 3 really kind of messes with my psyche, because I'm just, in my mind I'm like, okay, well, as a mentor, like, what are you offering me as a student? What are you, even though I may have like goals set for myself, and so I can come with you and tell you like, this is my mission, it's just kind of like in my mind I'm thinking, even though we should be working objectively, let's be real, like I would sense that a lot of faculty members are actually coming from a subjective point of view. And I only say this because not only am I a woman, but I'm also a woman that navigates spaces of Blackness. And there have been moments where I feel like my content has wanted to be adjusted, or, I've sat in critique and thought like, not thought, but have had said, oh, like, maybe if you said it this way, or if you did it this way, it would be less offensive, etc., etc. And so I feel like my main goal is to surround myself with people that not only have opposing views, but are critically thinking about the opposing views that they do have. How can I articulate this message better, but not change my message at all? That's like pretty much my main goal. Technically, how can I advance the tactility, if that's a word, I can make that word up here, the tactility of my pieces, versus like change this because it's offending people. Because if I changed all my work, or if everyone went around thinking like, oh, this may offend somebody, let's change the work, then I don't think a lot of impactful work would get populated in lots of spaces, and change wouldn't come from that. But between yesterday and today, I thought it was interesting, and so I submitted my top 3 out of the options made available professors that I would like to work with as a mentor. Now, I am super energized to finally have my own studio, quote unquote, on campus. So this will give me the opportunity to also have open studio visits with people that I have worked with and have met and networked with just these past couple of years. This past summer, I had 2 really strong internships. And not only that, I visited so many shows this summer, every single week, between openings and just visiting shows that were available to me locally or not so local. I attended and I introduced myself or shared my information, or people introduced themselves to me, which was super beneficial. And I think that this is the perfect opportunity to actually open up the space, my space now, to those who are genuinely interested or have inquired about my process and practice. Mostly what I'm enthusiastic about is being able to consistently communicate what I want to do and am doing, because I feel like this strengthens my overall like ethos in life or thesis of life. When I watch different artist talks or different interviews, I notice a key thing with a lot of the artists that I'm interested in. Their ethos has been pretty much consistent throughout their entire lives. How they've projected it into the world has changed, however, as they've evolved their techniques and practice and acquired new skills. But overall, like their ethos, what they're thinking about, has been very consistent. And so I'm very invested in growing my idea, and I have to figure out like what my overall ethos is at this point in time. I'm actually going to pull up on my laptop I have an artist statement. It's turning on. But essentially, I have realized, for a long time I was calling myself a painter. I paint, but I also talk a lot. I research a lot. I collect a lot, save a lot, record a lot. And so I don't quite know where to put myself outside of acknowledging that I have decided to be a person who possesses their own self-agency. I'm committed to having my own determination of self and not allowing my agency to be controlled by other people outside of me. And just because of me being in America, California, Southern California, there's a lot of like social and cultural games that are played. And so I understand that by me being who I am, I perhaps challenge a lot of perceptions and challenge a lot of subjectivities that may be projected onto me. And this honestly just gives me the energy to be more of who I am, while also remaining incredibly curious about who else I can become. So let me pull it up.
What happened to the original plot of the movie?
The ethos that I have on my website, and essentially this is like me paraphrasing for others what my practice consists of, and it says, my visual stride explores an aesthetic and affect through video, paint, writing, and discussion. This is me just surmising like what I do. And that's pretty much like what I do. I collect videos, create videos, I paint, I write, and I'm discussing consistently different ideas or observations and just like theories and ideas with other people or just with myself. I reflect on conceptual ideas of and related to the complex articulations of Blackness. I have mixed feelings about complexities, but I do understand how complex the articulations of Blackness are. But I mostly think that our articulations are incredibly infinite. I feel like the foundation of Blackness is consistently being built upon. I don't think that there's just kind of like this. Blackness is still so new of a concept that I don't think that there's not really a foundation yet. There's like a culture of Blackness, but the foundation is too infinite to just really box into one thing, which is why I love being able to navigate this space. Navigating spaces in and out of bounds, I grant myself permission to borrow liberally, to form and think through unstable ideas, to contest and respond. When I say in and out of bounds, really what I'm referring to is in and out of bounds of whiteness and the practices and the practices of those adjacent to it. I'd argue